Hey guys, this is Jimmy. I'm getting everything prepared to assemble my Geeetech Aluminum Prusa I3 3D printer. I kind of went through a little bit of an inventory earlier today and got a little freaked out when I found out that the bracket for one of the motors, they had changed the shape of it, and I didn't realize it, so I started to get freaked out thinking that maybe they sent me the wrong bracket or something, but turned out they had actually changed the design. So I decided from at that point I'd just go ahead and go through everything. So I got everything pretty much laid out on the desk right now. I'm just making sure that I got everything there. And let me go over the parts here. Okay, so starting out, there's going to be two, they call them D8 L32 millimeter X-axis rods. That's going to be these two shorter ones right here at the very end. Next is going to be the D8 L390 millimeter X-axis. It's going to be the ones next to it, a little bit longer. Then it's going to be the D8 L410 millimeter. It's going to be the Y-axis. That's going to be the ones that are a little bit longer than that. And then from there we go to the threaded rods. So we're going to have two of the M8 L300 millimeter X-axis. It's going to be the smaller rods. And then M10 L450 millimeter Y-axis. Going to be these longer rods. So that's all there. From there we start going to all the little bag parts. Luckily most of the bag parts all have numbers. So we have washers, the M2.5, M3 washers, M4 washers, M10 washers, M10 spring washers, M3 hex nuts, M4 hex nuts, M10 nuts, M4 lock nuts, M3 wing nuts. Number 15 over there is going to be the tin or bronze M8. That's going to be for the gantry portion of it. Then part number 16, the screws over here at this end of it, it's going to be M2.5 by 8. After that, number 17, the very one on the very end there, is going to be a M2.5 by 12 millimeter. Number 18 is going to be a screws. It's going to be the M3 by 6 millimeter. Then it's going to be M3 by 8 millimeter, M3 by 10 millimeter, M3 by 16 millimeter, M3 by 20 millimeter, M3 by 25 millimeter, M3 by 30 millimeter, M3 by 40 millimeter, M3 by 50 millimeter, M4 by 6 millimeter, M4 by 12 millimeter. Next page. Number 29, the one on the very end, M4 by 25 millimeter. Then we go to lock screws. We have a M3 by 4 millimeter. Then we have lock rings. Then we have springs, the 20 millimeter springs. Then we have it's a PCS 8UU. It's going to be the bearing holders. I believe that's going to be for the base of the unit. Then we have linear bearings. Then we have more linear bearings, ball bearings, driven wheel holder, then a driven wheel, so there's two of those. The sheet metal part, it says, this is the bottom of the build plate where the belts attach. From there we go to the couplers. It goes from the step motor to the rods that raise and lower the gantry. Then we have the pulleys that fit on the motors. Timing belts. I was watching the video earlier. I got a find out if they have the holes already. If they don't, I got to get something I can punch a hole in that. Belt bracket. M3 by 8 spacers, they're nylon. Then we have 19 millimeter, they call them dovetail clamps. They're going to be the old-fashioned paper clips. I got plenty of those around anyway. End stop. So this right here are switches for the end stops. Then there's going to be a 40 by 40 by 10 millimeter fan for the ramps. Then extension wire for the fan of control board there. Then for the fan on extruder. Then this is going to be the 4-pin for Z motor. And we've got the LCD control knob. Spiral coil, this is to put all the wires in. Nylon ties. Heat bed set I have right here, which also has the glass. Power supply unit. I believe that's on the, yeah, it's on camera. By the way, please, if you are here in America, before you go any further, see if I can get that where the camera can catch it. 110 volt, 220 volt. If you live in America, you got to switch that to 110. If you live overseas, you can possibly have 220. That comes set on 220. So take something, there's a little switch, and I have no idea if I can get this on camera or not. Let me see. Right through here, there's a switch. If you switch it to that side, it's 220. Switch it to this side, this direction, that's 110. Please switch it to 110 if you need to now. That way you will not forget it later. Okay, from there, connect board to PSU cable. That's going to be this cable right here. Then we have it says 3D power cable with plug. That's going to be the power switch for the plug and the cable for the power. Then we have the MK8 extruder. I'm going to reach across here. That's going to be this piece right here. Okay, then we have the control board kit, and it's going to be in the silver bag all the way over here to that side of the motors. I'll go ahead and bring that over here. It's going to be the control board right there. Then we have 4 stepper motors. Then we have the LCD, which is going to be in this other bag over this side. Sorry, I got the tripod right in the way where I can't get around it at the moment. You have the USB cord. I believe you can see that over here. We have the XZ frame. We have, let's see, this is going to be the front front side support for the Y-axis. This is going to be the rear part of it. Got that backward, by the way. Make sure you get everything in the right order if I can remember it. Fan fix block. It's going to be this one right here. Then we have 2 of the Z motor fixed plates that goes at the base of that unit. Z top support plate. This was going to hold our rods that go to the top. There's 2 of those. Go to the next page. We have the build platform. Here's the bracket that started this whole thing of getting everything sorted out. We have that. We have this bracket, and we have that bracket that's going to be for the base. And then we have these, which attaches our rods that go for the base to our, was it XY or ZY, wherever that big plate is. It's going to attach to that. Then we have the x-axis left end. It's going to be this piece over here. Then we have its relationship right there for the other side. We have the two brackets there that we need for the extruder. We have these plates right here for the bearings on the back of the extruder. We have an ejector pin. We have what they call the grater, which is a little file, round file. We have the screwdriver set and starter filament, which I've got a couple spools already. And then the spool holder set. If you watched my original video, I said I didn't have any idea what the plexiglass pieces, what the acrylic pieces were. It's for the spool holder. So we have all that. And we have all the parts here. We are ready to assemble. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video now. I'm going to restart it tomorrow whenever I start building it. And see you in just a little bit. Okay, and we're going to start the build. And I print out the instruction manual. I watched the videos last night. Got my parts list and everything here. So I'll try to go through everything as I'm assembling it here and try to do it as thorough as I can. I'm trying to get a second angle using a different camera, but we'll see if that works out. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the base unit. And my assembly methods might be a little bit different from the video. I don't know, because there's some things I watched on the video that didn't make sense to me. So we're just going to kind of go by the seat of our pants on this deal. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the two number 5 rods, which are number 5 threaded rod is the M10 by L 450 millimeter Y-axis. It's the larger of the two threaded rods that were in the previous portion of the video. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with that. We're going to move these pieces here, which are the connecting plates, about midway up the rods. We are going to take and assemble. It's going to be flat washers against it. There's 8 of each of these, if I remember right. And then on one side, we're going to have a lock washer. Then we're going to take and run up a nut as fast as I can here. Close enough for now. We're going to do the same thing to this other rod. Pretty close. I'll measure in a little bit. Okay, and then we've got to run another nut up from the other side. The nuts will end up pinching everything together when we get to our main plate. They're upright. So they don't have to be real close, because we're going to end up screwing them all together here in a little bit. And today is Sunday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. And I believe I started the video right at 12:10, so that way we can kind of keep track of how long it's going to take. We're going to run up another nut. Now this one's going to be for one of the ends, so we're not going to run it very far. Then it's going to be a flat washer. And let's take it back. It's going to be a lock washer, and it's going to be a flat washer. And then on this end, I'm going to run a nut up. And we're going to put, it appears to be, yeah, a lock washer and a flat washer. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. Let's see, lock washer, flat washer, and same thing over here. Lock washer, flat washer. Okay, so there we have our rods. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take, I've debated about this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the back plate, assemble it first, and when you're looking at it from the back, that's the direction it needs to be, so it needs to be opposite, if I remember right. Let's double check in the picture here. And they didn't put that in the picture. Because what's going to happen is our motor bracket's going to fit here, our motor's going to fit there. So, let me try to find one of the pictures. So I can, because they had everything face on. So whenever I see it in the picture, it's going to be opposite when I have it. Yeah, so it has it that way. So yeah, we're going to go that direction. Not that it probably matters all that much. So we're going to go that direction. I'm going to leave this one off for the moment. Okay, and then we're going to need 2 more. Actually, we're going to need 4 of those nuts. I'll set those there for the moment. And then I'm going to need more of these flat washers. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will take, and I'm sorry if you're not seeing this completely, but I've got a washer, I'm putting a nut, I'm just going to take it till the rod just barely sticks to it, and then I'm going to run this one back to pinch it, and I'll tighten it up a little bit with a wrench. There's just some of the stuff I watched on the video didn't make any sense to me, and I'm not going to fight it like that person did. Okay, so that's pretty much the basics of that for the moment. I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to take this plate here. It doesn't matter which side's up. So what I'm going to need this block that's the number 39. And the way it's going to work, we'll run screws into that through that piece. And let me get everything figured out as far as what I need that direction. Just kind of do this out of order a little bit here. Do all the motors and stuff in just a little bit. I just want to get this piece set up and get it out of the way. So we have that piece, we have that piece. Then I'm going to need number 33, the 4 pieces that's going to be in that bag. And then I'm going to need 2 of the number 20s. I kind of set everything out here last night. I should need, and I did not put the number 20 over there. There it is. So for number 20, I'm going to need 2 of these. I'll seal that back up for the moment, set it back kind of in order. Number 28. I'm going to need 16 of these. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Double check it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 18. 16. Okay, so we got 16 of those out. And then number 7, washers. I'm going to need 18 of those. And then number 8. Okay, I'm probably looking right at it. Yep, over there. So number 8, we're going to need 16. Let's set them over here for the moment. Of those. Okay, and then number 11A. I had everything sorted out last night, and then I watched the videos again. And I thought, I'm going to do it a little bit different, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, so what we're going to do, take and put some washers on these. I'm sure this is going to be for the center part of it. Just going to get it started. I have one there that didn't want to get in there. It tightened up awful fast. Take out this set here. I believe last night I just said that was going to be a 2.5. I believe. Nope. Wrong one. Nope, that's a 2.5. Sorry about that. Yes. It's kind of nice that they supply a little set like that. That one's tight. I don't like it, but let me take it back out. Something don't feel right. Get this other one tightened down. That is not going on quite right. Let's take another look at it here. Yeah, they got the holes drilled out. She just tightens up awful fast.